Hello. It's currently Saturday today, and tomorrow, which is Sunday, it's gonna be raining, and Monday might also be raining, which is why I'm here. Where is here? Here is, it's called UmiNaka Seaside Park and Marine World. Currently, we're at the Marine World because there is the nice ocean view. I'm here super early. What time is it actually? I took a bus here at 7 a.m. I got here around 8 a.m. and both places doesn't open till 9:30. So I'm kind of just stuck here waiting for things to open up. Today's gonna be a super chill day. I just be outside of my apartment, try to have a nice picnic to myself and relax. There is a couple autumny things happening, but everything still feels green right now, even though it's autumn. Things are slowly changing into the winter season. I got a couple like autumny things planned, but we'll have to see when that comes around. So I'm just gonna wait and chill here.
Here is the entrance and walkway to Marine World, aka the only aquarium in Fukuoka. Because of the way Fukuoka is, there is actually a port where you can ride across the Hakuta port instead of going on the bus and like around the curve. Option that I have not done yet actually. Being here super early is very nice because I was able to listen to the waves crashing. There is like a small little beach area that's a bit of a walk from the aquarium, but with nothing else to do, I decided to try to find some sea glass. Oh look, I got some for my collection now. Growing up in Chicago, seeing these palm trees feels a bit unreal to me. I know they exist, but not in Chicago. Even though it was my second time being here, it feels like I'm in Florida for some reason, and the warm weather does not help at all. For the most part, I just stared into the ocean, looking around to the other side of the water. No thoughts really, just taking in the sounds and the scenery around me. Around 9:15 a.m. is when I started walking back to the seaside park area. Of course, when I arrived, it's still a bit early because here they open exactly at 9:30. So with a ticket in hand, I was finally able to get in and start walking to where I wanted to go. So at this park, there is a bike route, but where we're going, you have to walk on foot. I actually made a short video about UmiNaka Seaside Park, so go check it out if you want more information. But the TLDR is that this place is huge, like fields, play parks, cafe stands, flowers, plants, so much nature, pool, a zoo, like there's so much. It's so big. The first thing I wanted to go was to the flower museum here. Not really a museum exactly, but more like a display of flowers around. But already with the red bricks and orange pumpkins, this place is making me feel like I'm not in Japan. And once you're really fully inside, I completely felt like I was not in Fukuoka or Japan at all. It has a more American feel based on the bricks, the plants, and overall like autumn vibes. So I brought a tripod with me because I had no one to take photos of me in this place. And there's two things. I'm still kind of embarrassed asking people for my photo, and I'm embarrassed using it by myself because it just feels a bit awkward and people are just staring at you like, what are they doing with that tripod? Heck, even when I vlog, I just know people will stare at me once I open my mouth and start talking in English. After some time here, it was time to go more into the park. But first, look how yellow-green these ginkgo trees are. I will forever miss the ginkgo trees in Shinjuku. Those were really beautiful. One of the main advertisements at UmiNaka for this flower festival were these very red autumny cypress plants. But honestly, it was my fault for coming here a bit early as they were not fully red yet. I tried doing a self photo shoot, but it was not worth it, and I didn't want to keep embarrassing myself with people staring at me, so off to the Cosmo. Again, totally my fault for coming here early. The predicted peak bloom for these cosmos was October 10th, but the weather said it was going to be raining that day, so I came here a couple days earlier. And yeah, you can totally see that some cosmos are blooming, but everything is not in bloom yet. It's almost there, but again, I was just there a bit too early. And this current bloom is fine because I don't like crowds. Though you can't imagine what this field really looked like. I think I mentioned this before, but fall is weird in Japan. At least in Tokyo and now in Fukuoka, the month, September, October, November, says it's autumn. But the temperature, the green trees, makes it feel like it's summer part 4, and it still feels really warm outside. For lunch, I packed 2 onigiri and a dango for dessert. Funny story, actually, I was eating my last couple of dangos on a stick and a kite bird just came in and swooped and steal it. Why? I don't know. Be careful when you eat outside in an open field. In Japan, I guess. So I've been to UmiNaka before, and I kind of didn't want to stay too long because I didn't have sunscreen and I was already burning. So I decided to go to Marine World, and I just walked up, paid for a ticket, and got inside immediately. Despite it being a small aquarium, they actually packed everything in a very convenient, cohesive manner. And I just came right in time for the sea lion and dolphin show. And right after the show, I immediately rushed over to the sea otter feeding, which was honestly quite crowded, but I did manage to see some feeding. I can see why people love sea otters. This one is so adorable. There's also a free photo shoot present from the aquarium, which I totally got even though I was there by myself. Okay, time for the actual aquarium. Now, the aquarium is split into like 9 or 8 sections to showcase the different parts of the sea life around Kyushu. First off is the Kyushu's inshore waters, basically the shallow waters or nearby sea and coastal life around Kyushu, Japan. Translation might be wrong for this one, but the next area is the Kyushu water forest. Honestly, this is my favorite part. Particularly, it somehow reminds me of the Animal Crossing Freshwater Exhibit Museum. Maybe it's just this area, but it's the overall vibes, you know? The third section is called Open Water off Kyushu, so basically just the majority of the typical sea life you would think. Because of the timing, they also had a feeding schedule, which perfectly aligned with me being there. So the scuba diver was just feeding everyone, and they looked so majestic while feeding the sardines and the other sea creatures, but particularly the sardines. Going out of order a bit, I went to the jellyfish area. It was a super dark location with light or bioluminescence lighting to showcase the jellyfish, and I just like the vibes of them. I managed to make my way to the Creature Island area, where the main attractions are these penguins. You are also able to feed sea lions. They even installed this cool underwater area in the sea lions habitat, and you can watch them swim by, and because of the glass, it's cool and a bit trippy. The next and smaller section is Kyushu's deep water exhibit with lots of dead and glass organisms. The final area that's not the gift shop is an area called the Hone Note or the Hone Note. It has a little bit more biology, as it kind of talked about like homologous and analogous bone structures and how the environment of a species where they live affects the shape and size of the organism's bones. Honestly, a high school throwback. Finally, the gift shop area is here to buy all the souvenirs you want. The classic items like stuffed animals, souvenirs, charms, t-shirts, bag, etc, etc. I didn't really buy much, but I did get one thing for my friend. I will give that to her when I see her. So that was my day. I hopped on the bus to get back home, took a nap, did some house cleaning, but that's it. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye.